We're here to idea everyone, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, create. Let's move the human story forward together.
Hello and welcome to The Poetry of Science, a podcast which provides insight into new scientific research via the medium of poetry. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Illingworth, and each week I'll be introducing you to some of the latest scientific findings and sharing a selection of science-themed poetry. After all, we could all do with a little bit more poetry in our lives. In this episode, I'll be exploring new research which has found that our sense of smell changes the colours we see. Cherry wafts upon the air, a crimson mist unfurls, greys transformed with reddy swirls of reds and browns and smells. Senses collude to shift the views, conjured from memories by fragrances unseen. The lavender exhales its breath of lilac purple prose, transfusing monochrome with violet palette as illusions bloom. Realities rearrange, washing over us with sights and notes and dreams. As scented mists enshroud your eyes with saturated scents, discover worlds behind the scenes of what you once could see. This poem is inspired by recent research published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, which has found that certain scents subtly shift people's colour perceptions, making greys seem warmer, like reddish-brown when smelling cherries. People's senses are intricately interconnected, playing a vital role in helping them interpret and understand their environment. When they encounter a particular scent, it's often accompanied by a visual stimulus, such as seeing the source of the fragrance. These combined experiences of smell and sight work in tandem to shape individuals' perceptions and feelings about the world around them. This blending of senses is so profound that it can sometimes modify or enhance how a person perceives a specific stimulus, creating a richer, more immersive experience. In this study, researchers investigated the intriguing relationship between smell and colour perception. Participants were asked to adjust a colour on a screen to what they perceived as a neutral grey, while being exposed to various scents. The findings revealed that certain odours influenced participants to perceive the grey with a tint of warmer colours, such as red or brown. For instance, when exposed to the scent of cherry, many adjusted the colour towards a reddish-brown. This study underscores the fascinating ways in which the presence of certain odours can subtly shift colour perceptions. Now that you've heard the science, let me read the poem to you again. Cherry wafts upon the air, a crimson mist unfurls, greys transformed with reddy swirls of reds and browns and smells. Senses collude to shift their views, conjured from memories by fragrances unseen. The lavender exhales its breath of lilac purple prose, transfusing monochrome with violet palette as illusions bloom. Realities rearrange, washing over us with sights and notes and dreams. As scented mists enshroud your eyes with saturated scents, discover worlds behind the scenes of what you once could see. In this section of the podcast, I'd like to share a poem written by another poet on a topic related to the science that has been discussed so far. In this episode, I'll be reading Smell is the Last Memory to Go by Fatima Asghar. Fatima Asghar is a South Asian American Muslim poet, screenwriter and educator. Author of If They Come For Us and After, she co-created the Emmy-nominated web series Brown Girls, celebrating women of colour. Her work has been featured on news outlets such as PBS, NPR, Time, Teen Vogue, Huffington Post and others. In 2011, she created a spoken word poetry group in Bosnia and Herzegovina called Reflex, while serving a Fulbright Fellowship where she studied theatre in post-genocidal countries. Asghar is a member of the Dark Noise Collective and a Kundiman Fellow. In 2017, she was a recipient of the Ruth Lilly and Dorothy Sargent Rosenberg Poetry Fellowship from the Poetry Foundation and listed on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list. Smell is the Last Memory to Go, by Fatima Asghar. On my block a gate, on my block a tree smelling of citrus and jasmine that knocks me back into the arms of my dead mother. I ask Ross, how can a tree be both jasmine and orange? On my block my neighbours put up gates and stare, don't like to share. On my block a tree I can't see but can smell, a tree that can't be both but is on my block. My mother's skirt twirls and all I smell is her ghost. Perfume on my block, a fallen orange smashed into sidewalk, its blood pulped on asphalt on my block. Jordan hands me a jasmine. By the time I get home, all its petals are gone. Thank you for listening to the Poetry of Science.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the ideaXme Show. ideaXme is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideaXme.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.